Welcome back, AutoCAD for Technician students. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about panel layout. Now, many of you have already had the electrical fabrication course offered in our electromechanical lab, but some of you may have or may not have had that course yet. On the screen here I have an image or a picture of the electrical fabrication panel and kind of how it was laid out. So if you've had this course, this probably looks familiar. If you have not, just kind of bear with me. Hopefully things will make a little more sense after I'm done talking. So when you're talking about panel layout, there is really no right and wrong way to lay out a panel, just as long as you have a plan, I guess, in a systematic way of doing things and not just throwing things in a corner because that's where you put it. So have a plan and have an idea of where things make sense, or put things where they make sense. For example, most of the time in most panels, your power is going to come in the top of the panel. Okay? So in this panel up here, you can see the main power. It's actually three-phase power coming into this distribution block. Then out of there, it's fed into different areas. Okay, so that's a common place for your main power to come in. So that's a common place where you would put certain things like a main disconnect or a distribution block like you have here, or fuse holders. If it's a smaller panel, your fuses will be in this area, smaller fuse holders like you drew that you will be drawing in this exercise. Other items on the top are mainly items that require your main power coming in. So you can see there's three-phase power coming into here, and you'll have three-phase power which goes to this line reactor and to this drive. Okay, so any items that require three-phase power will generally be at the top of the panel. Not always, but generally. So talking about that, when we're doing our drawings for this AutoCAD for Technicians course, I have the items that we'll actually be drawing here. Give me 1 second, pull it up. Okay, so I have a set of terminal blocks, I have a contactor, and I have some fuse blocks. Okay, so remember I was talking about that three-phase power coming in. Now, we're not actually going to be wiring this panel, we're just going to be laying it out. So like I was saying, this panel that we're going to be drawing, I think, is a 12 by 12 panel that you have to fit these components into. Your fuse blocks are probably going to be on the top, and your contactor will be on top with it. Okay, now notice this gray material here that's behind these terminal blocks. This is what we call DIN rail. If you have not had electrical fabrication yet, this is the way that many electrical components are mounted. So if you look on the back of this fuse block, you can see that it snaps onto this DIN rail. If you look on the back of this contactor, you can see it has a method for snapping onto that same size DIN rail. So it would make sense if you were laying these out in the panel to keep them side by side so they can snap onto the same piece of DIN rail. And then generally any control wiring will be going to these terminal blocks. So control wiring would generally be away from your power wiring, so it would be down below. So if you could picture an actual 12-inch by 12-inch square box, it would probably be laid out similar to this. Okay, if you have more questions on panel layout or electrical panel layout, please actually contact your instructor. Otherwise, there are a ton of resources on the internet. You can just do a quick Google search and find out some panel layout best practices and things like that. So again, I just kind of touch base for the sake of you doing your drawings for AutoCAD, so you kind of have an idea of where you should be putting these components. But there is a rhyme and reason to why these components are mounted in certain places and where they're supposed to be mounted. So if you want to look into it more, feel free to do so, or ask your instructor to clarify some things for you. All right, thank you. Happy drawing.